So, a lot of you guys have been asking me if I've ever soloed Crota's End, and I haven't, so you said I should do it. So, I did. This run that you're seeing is going to be my second solo run ever. The first one that I did is linked in the description. The reason I didn't upload the first run is because I streamed it, and there's a lot of copyrighted music playing in the background, and that kind of presents a problem. But I linked all of the individual parts where I actually completed encounters in the description. They're all on my Twitch page. I've uploaded this solo run sans meaningful commentary as well, in case you don't want to listen to me yammer on about the raid and just want to see it played. So, without further ado, let's take a look at how to solo this place and discover why Crota's End is broken. Now, I had seen some runs and some stuff a while back, but I pretty much forgot everything that I knew. I know that hunters can probably do a lot of invisibility stuff up to the top. Warlocks, not really sure how you guys do it, so I pretty much went in blind with regards to strategy. Obviously, this isn't going to be optimized for speed or anything, I just want to get through it. You can kind of see the strategy that I'm going for. I'm using the armamentarium with pulse grenades and aftermath with bad juju. The concept is that I use the AoE field generated by either pulse grenade or aftermath, and I stand in there and then take everything out. The enemies don't attack me because the AI is programmed not to run into AoE, but if I'm in the AoE, then there are no viable targets for them to attack, so they all just stand still. I take out everything with armor penetrating bad juju shots, and I can just shoot with zero downtime while recharging my super really quickly. If I can get away with not using a super or a grenade, then I will take that chance. If I get far enough ahead, then I will shoulder charge into a lamp and turn my camera at the same time to reduce downtime and then just get to shooting. I only need to last until my stacks are basically gone, and you can typically outrun the thrall to the next lamp, with the exception of lamp 7 to lamp 8. They'll catch up to you towards the end of those lamps. The only problem with this pulse grenade strategy is that you damage yourself on the first tick of damage, so you can't just plop it down if you're low on health. Lamp 9 and Lamp 14 have knights, so I'm sure to save my super for those lamps to push the knight away, then shotgun it. I could one-shot them with a headshot, but that would cause me to stop sprinting, and then if I miss, I just get clobbered. The very end of this place was cause for some rage as well. I know that a lot of people jump on the cheese rock, but seeing as I've never cheesed the raid before, I literally had no idea how to get onto the stupid rock. Jump on the stupid rock, please. I don't know how to do it. Get me up there. Give me this. Oh my god, I hate this. After searching for some guidance, I learned that I needed to get a little more clever with the lamp with regards to Weight of Darkness. So after futzing around with that, I was finally able to get on the stupid rock, and wow, this is really stupid. Like, really dumb. The knights don't even spawn, and I imagine it's because there are no viable targets to hit, so it's almost like the game thinks you wiped or something. But, you guys know me, you think I'm gonna cheese this part? No. I super really early into the final lamp because I need something to stand in, but I don't want to kill too many thralls, otherwise I won't have a super ready for the finale. After cleaning up, I stand behind the rock, close to the bridge on the left side if you're looking at the exploded lamp. I kill as much as I possibly can before having to use any abilities, starting with my super. I wait until the last possible second. I use my super first because I have direct control over how quickly I can regenerate it. Then, I rotate my grenades while continuing to charge my super with bad juju. I need to look out for the knights right now. I catch one of them, so I toss a grenade and take it out. The ogre is finally catching up with me. I thought I was a total goner here, but I back up behind the rock to break line of sight. The other knight came in from behind and either missed or stumbled on my super. Either way, I don't care, I kill it. I toss what is essentially the last thing that I have and make sure I'm in the dead center of the AoE. The bridge opens very shortly after, and I'm out of there. Took a few tries, but I made it. So how is the Abyss broken? Well, the AoE strategy is a built-in thing into the enemy AI. That's not a Crota's End specific thing, that's a game thing. But that's very intentional because if enemies just ran into AoE, it would be really dumb. So that AoE strat kind of falls into the creative use of game mechanics category, similar to being able to go invisible. Invisibility cancels you as a viable target for the enemy to hit for the most part. Jumping on the rock, I guess, can be considered creative use of game mechanics, but it's a little farther down the road versus stuff like AoE and invisibility. It's walking that fine line a little bit more. The fact that going on the rock makes you an unhittable target isn't the main problem, it's the fact that nothing even spawns because there are no viable targets. However, I can imagine it being somewhat of a technical issue to have enemies continue to spawn despite there being no viable targets. What we could do is have some ranged enemies spawn to make it a little bit more of a threat. You could make the rock a kill volume, or you could just make the rock taller so you can't jump on it. I think that's a pretty simple fix. Then there's also the issue of you don't even need to stand on the plate to get the bridge to form. All you gotta do is touch the plate to start the activity, and then you can just go wherever you want. What's wrong with requiring at least one person to stand on the plate to activate the bridge like the bridge encounter? I'm sure someone at Bungie could give me some sort of reason as to why that's a problem, but off the top of my head, I don't know what it could be. They are a lot smarter than me though, so I'm sure there's some sort of reason. Moving to the bridge encounter now, this is a little bit easier. I step on the plate to activate the fight, and I just kind of chill on there, killing Thrall. Now what you gotta do is keep getting on and off the plate as the totems activate. You can get on and off pretty quickly. On this run, I don't end up actually forming the bridge until after I get the sword, which is bad. You don't want to do that because you want to form the bridge first, then get the sword, because you can jump about half the distance to the other side. The bridge needs to fully form first before you get to walk on any of it, so the longer you sit with the sword waiting on the bridge, the less time you have for the gatekeeper. I get the bridge formed super late, and I don't even kill my gatekeeper, but guess what? You don't even need to kill the stupid gatekeeper to continue the fight. He just leashes towards the middle anyway. So you sit around, wait for the ogres to spawn, should take about a minute or so. I blast this first one with some rockets, some Fatebringer shots, and then finish it off with a shotgun. Now I'm out of rockets, but where I'm going, I don't need no stinking rockets. So what is broken about the bridge? Well, for starters, activating the Annihilator Totem debuff doesn't actually kill you right away. If you activate the totem, it should just kill you. Stepping off the plate is too forgiving of a mechanic. Next, you don't even need the bridge to be complete to get across. You can sword dash over to the other side. That's an effect of the sword itself, though. The fix would be that the entire bridge would need to be complete, otherwise you would still get Bane of the Swordless, or just give the players the debuff a Dark Burden so they can't secondary jump while holding the sword. I understand how this could be a problem though, and you want the bridge to be a little forgiving in case someone needs to step off for a second, namely for the people on the fortress side dealing with the gatekeeper in their face. If they have to get off the bridge for a second, then it starts to decompose, and you have a problem. Speaking of which, next, you don't even need a gatekeeper to die to continue the fight, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I don't mind the ogres ending the fight, but I mind that everything leashes so much. The gatekeeper leashes, the thralls leash, even the wizard leashes to an extent. The fight itself is designed in a way where if it required you to kill 6 gatekeepers, if anyone died at the wrong time, it would be impossible to complete the fight. And it should always be possible to complete a fight if you have people die during it. I realize it sounds a little contradictory versus the you shouldn't be able to solo the raid argument, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. The Thrall way, as it's called, isn't too bad. I just ended up spending a lot of time here because I needed some shotgun ammo. Ear-Ute is a fun encounter in that you can basically be one-shot by dual knights chasing you. A good amount of the time, there's not a lot you can do about it because the knights will just move right under you as you land from a jump, and you can't jump fast enough to get away again. Anyway, I pack plenty of rockets and shotgun shells. I actually use Fellwinter's Lie for this, since I have solar damage on it. I used to use Swordbreaker, made the switch, liked Fellwinter's better. I go to the left side first if we're facing the Crota spawn because that side is really crazy and I want to get it done first. I flashbang to make sure the wizard doesn't blast me in the face, which doesn't really work in my favor all the time because blinding the wizard will usually make the wizard float away in a direction you probably don't want them going, and it's bad enough dealing with the knights. Some well-placed shotgun shots will kill the wizard pretty quickly, where I then immediately whip around and rocket the Shrieker and just hope I get out alive. This process is repeated again on the other side. If I need to, I'll chug a heavy ammo synth, but otherwise it's just blasting rockets at Ear-Ute after both Shriekers are dead. When I run out of rockets, I go in for the shotgun. I chose to use shotgun instead of sniper because the last thing I want are thrall all over me or a knight in my face, but I assume the sniper works just as well. If not, it's probably better. It's probably better than shotgun, let's be honest. I actually prefer to wait until she starts casting the song because she'll take bonus crit damage, she's not going to shoot you, and she'll just stand there so you don't have to run around chasing her or anything like that. So what's broken here? Honestly, it's not really too much. It just kind of seems like a general scaling issue. While the raid itself doesn't feel like it scales to how many players are in it, the fact that I'm able to do enough damage to kill her in less than 30 seconds may be a bit of a problem. It's also the fact that G-Horn is really stupid strong, like really strong, and is incredibly efficient for single target damage. It doesn't help because I can't imagine Iryut is balanced around everyone blasting her with G-Horn rockets, although I'd like to think it was balanced somewhat due to the nature of the fight and how it's designed. It's a very urgent fight, so you're going to be breaking out all the stops, which means you're going to be using heavy ammo a lot, so maybe it was balanced around that, but I don't really know for certain. After you've spent about 10 to 15 minutes or however long it takes clearing all the majors, it's time for Crota. Now, I've been told on my stream when I did this the first time that my Crota strategy is super dumb and stupid and also dumb. I make the switch from striker to defender for reasons you'll see in a minute. I also switched to the Swordbreaker shotgun. I used to use the sniper for the boomers, but they go down easily enough to my primary, and I have the chalice the whole time, so I'm not in too much danger. So we spawn Crota, we kill all the stuff here, yada yada yada. Moving outside, I head straight down to the chalice and I stand on the little box thing. I chuck a grenade at the sword bearer, and most of the time that'll cause him to cower, and then I lay into him with shotgun blasts. I yank the sword and jump up to the left on top of the bridge. Now I don't want to get too close to Crota, but I don't want to stand too far away either. I stop right smack in the middle of the bridge to drop the sword, then I walk as close as I can to the boomers and then drop my bubble. This is so I can stand right outside my bubble to rocket Crota and be able to grab the sword in one swift motion. I also use Blessing of Light because I take an absolute beating and I need all the health that I can get. I realize this probably isn't the safest, most reliable strategy in the world, but I've actually died more times to other stuff than I have died to being shot to death during the sword phase. Crota's shield goes down in 2 G-Horn rockets, although sometimes the Wolfpack rounds will bug out and not deal damage, so it's a good idea to toss a sticky grenade at some point to guarantee the takedown. Right after I fire the second rocket, I grab the sword and make a mad dash to Crota and try for 3 swings per takedown. On this attempt, I go for 4 swings because I only have 1 rocket, and I had pretty good timing, so taking him down a second time with only 1 rocket is, well, it's difficult. Fatebringer and a grenade do some work, but not enough. I can't damage him twice. I wait for Crota just to come back to the middle because I'm not in a rush, and I just repeat this process. This time, I can bring him down twice, and my timing is really good enough that I'm able to kill him despite missing a cycle of damage the first time. So what's wrong with Crota? Well, first off, I think the sword just does a really high amount of damage in general at level 32 for normal mode. I wouldn't mind seeing that toned down just a little bit. Next, Crota's shield scaling and the fact that G-Horn is so good. Not only does it provide insanely high damage, but it does it via damage over time as well, which means Crota's shield is not going to regenerate during the gaps between shots. I know it's possible to take him down without G-Horn, but that's what a lot of people use for this. Crota's shield goes down so easily with only 1 person in the raid just because of how the shield mechanic itself works. If you give the shield too much health, then it's too unforgiving if you miss that split second of damage, despite that being the entire point of the shield. So you can do all the work yourself with a combination of G-Horn and a heavy ammo pack. I imagine Bungie must have toyed with the idea of just having his shield not regenerate, instead just having a ton of health, but that would drastically change the 2 takedown approach and might have been too difficult for those day 1 raiders. You'd have to mess with the sword damage scaling because you'd probably have to increase the damage a little bit to make up for the fact that you might not be able to bring him down twice in 1 sword. You'd also have the sword have a lot more downtime just kind of sitting around and waiting, so there's plenty of issues with that as well. Once again, it seems like the shield was balanced around primary and special weapons and not everyone having G-Horn, which is something they have to do because there are going to be times where you just have no heavy or no one in the raid has a Yalhorn. In conclusion, I will say this about solo raids. I absolutely respect anyone's ability to solo the raid. If you can solo the raid, props, seriously. But I don't think the raid should be a soloable endeavor. It shouldn't be possible to be soloed in the first place. I guess I really don't have a specific reason as to why, but I feel like the game shouldn't revolve around being able to solo everything. It's just what I believe. If you're going to bring up WoW raids being soloed by Death Knights, I know that's a thing, but it's typically content that is irrelevant or in which the player greatly outscales the content, and content scaling works very, very differently in Destiny. Anyway, I soloed Crota's End. If you're looking for a challenge, I highly recommend it. It's really not as bad as it sounds, and hopefully if Bungie sees enough people soloing the raid, they'll have it scale a little bit differently next time. I can't imagine they want people soloing the raid. If you're looking for more solo Crota's End shenanigans, might I suggest Slayer Age and the HM05, both linked here, speedruns, no guns, among other runs as well. That's going to do it for me though. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Yep. 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 Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to punch it. I wanted to punch it right in the mouth. Nope. Love it. I really need to figure out how to get onto this stupid rock. Just jump up there, you butthole! Nope. Oh my god. Seriously, how? How do you jump onto the rock? Alright. Oh, please just get on the stupid rock. I just don't know. Just get on there! I don't know. I have to ask. I don't know. Please just get up on the... Well, now I'm gonna die. Explode already, damn it! That's not... Oh my god, just explode! Oh, please just get me up there. I just don't know. Oh good, I only have 2 shots in the chamber because I didn't reload because I'm smart. Nope, where'd you go? No rockets in the chamber. I'm just dumb. Please, please, and please, and please, and please. Thank you. What? Oh, I can't wait to see that on the replay.
What?
Oh, just get in there. Good. Why? Why are you over here? Oh my... You gotta be kidding me. What was that? I thought that was gonna be freaking Bridge Knight, but I didn't even kill the boomers. This game sucks.